the most of the interviews they ask this question. Okay. So what are the different types of storage modes or the connectivity modes? So this one we already discussed. Okay, we have something like import mode and direct query mode and dual connection, dual mode, and then live connection. So we know very well what is import. When did we use import mode? When did we use it? Now, even in the case of SQL Server, I have demonstrated how to use import connectivity mode and how to use direct query, right? And database, when I explained about database, also I explained to what exactly is going to happen when it comes to import or direct query. So when you use an import connected mode, the data gets loaded locally into your Power BI desktop. Okay. Whereas in the case of direct query mode, it is not getting loaded. The data remains wherever it is. Okay. And it is not going to get loaded locally. So why should I use, now the question is, when can I go for direct query mode? When can I go for import mode? So import mode, so the advantage of import mode is it is pretty faster. Okay, the pretty faster. What do you mean by pretty faster? Since the data is available locally, the performance will be faster. Simple example is, let's you are into e-commerce and you are stocked up majority of the item in your house itself, so that when the customer orders anything, you can deliver it to them immediately. Otherwise, what will happen? You need to go and buy it from other stockist, and then you need to deliver to the customer, right? So that takes time. If the data is available locally, the performance is faster. But can I load all the data in all the data using import mode? That is not the recommended approach. If the data volume is less, then you can go for import. What do you mean by less? How much is less? Less means how much less is less. Okay. So for example, you have something like 100,000 record or so, right? You can, again, depends on your desktop, local desktop capacity. Okay. If your desktop can accommodate up to 1 million or 0.5 million, then you can go for import. Okay. But if the volume of the data is too huge, for example, petabytes and above, better you go for direct query. So what is direct query? What is going to happen? The data will remain in the source system itself. So one of the source system is SQL Server. We discussed it already. In the SQL Server, the data remains there itself. The volume of the data is very huge. When it comes to fact table, the volume of the data is very, very huge in general. Okay. So that doesn't mean all the customers, all the type of fact table, the volume of the data is very high. Okay. But in general, the volume of the data is very high when it comes to fact table. They store every minute transactions from your source system to your fact table. Your fact table resides in your SQL Server data warehouse, okay, or data warehouse. Okay. So in that case, what will happen is, if you wanted to create a report, and for that report, you need to get the data from your fact table, which is available on SQL Server. In that case, what will happen is, if you if you use the import mode, it will literally slow down your performance, because your fact table has, instead of saying petabytes, let's say reasonably you have 100 billion records are there. When you use import mode, what will happen? The 100 million record will get downloaded. It involves some kind of network issues, network management. Something like you download a movie. It's a, let's say you download Bahubali movie. The size of the movie is, let's say, 3.5 GB. So when you download, what will happen? It takes a lot of time, right? So that is the reason why something called streaming came into picture. Streaming, right? In the case of YouTube, they do something like streaming. As soon as the data is read from the YouTube server, it will play the video. Okay. Similarly, in the case of direct query, the data resides in your SQL server itself. So your Power BI will generate the query, and then it will send the query to your SQL server. The query will get executed at the source system SQL server, and then the output of the query will be sent back to your Power BI desktop, visual or so. Okay. So when you when you use a direct query mode, you will not be able to see the data gets loaded in the Power BI desktop. Instead, you can see only the metadata. This is the one I have reiterated many times. Okay. So, right. So don't forget this. Okay. So what are the advantages of import and the direct mode? As I told you, in the case of import, the performance pretty faster, especially if the volume of the data is less. When you store the data locally, since the data is locally available, the performance will be pretty faster. Okay. So there is something called Vertipack engine. Okay. And the Power BI's internal Vertipack, the data gets loaded and it allows for fast and efficient analysis. Okay. And I will explain you what is Vertipack and all later. And the advantages, as I told you, in the case of import mode, faster performance. The performance will be pretty faster because the data is available locally. Okay. And in the case of import mode, it supports all data sources, whether it's Excel file or Parquet file or XML file, you name it, anything. Okay. You can use import mode for any type of data sources. Okay. And also you can use unlimited data sources per report. Okay. For example, you have a data available in Salesforce and you have a data available in your Oracle financials and so on. In that case, you can use any number of source systems data into your Power BI desktop. That is also another advantage of import data and maximum Power BI functionality. Hence, the performance will be pretty faster. And you can also you have the liberty or you have the flexibility to change the data model, or you can make some changes to your data model also. Okay, that is also one of the advantages of using import data. So what is the the flip side of the import mode? What are the flip side of import mode? Can someone tell me? You need to refresh the data, you know, frequently, or periodically. You need to refresh the data. For example, you develop the report and you publish the report on cloud, but that report should show daily, data, right? It should get refreshed with the daily data. Okay. So in that case, you need to, schedule the data refresh. Okay. This and all, we will discuss it later. I'll just give you some simple analogy. What do you mean by, data refresh? Yes, Vinith, now. So, what do you mean by dynamic? It's not dynamic. We need to schedule the data refresh. Okay. It's something like, you have, for example, you have loaded the data in your Power BI desktop as of 1st April. Okay. And you publish it on cloud. You want to see the today's, the account balance or your bank related, reports, right? Every day, how much cash on hand you have, how much reserve you have. For example, you're working for a manufacturing company, you want to understand how much reserve I have in my company and how much cash on hand I have, how much money that I have it in my bank account. This one, for example, your management wants to see it on a day-to-day basis. If you publish the report on cloud on 1st April, how can they say that, see the today's account balance in your report? Because everybody is accessing the report in the cloud only. Okay, you develop the report in your laptop or desktop, then you publish it on cloud. Why do we need to publish it on cloud? So that everyone can access the report across the globe within your organization. Yes, Vinitha, you're correct, right? So accessibility, people across the globe can. But the reports we have published on 1st April only, hence it is outdated, right? The report will become outdated, each and every day as we move further. For example, today is 7th April. It will show still 1st April only. When it comes to import data, you need to schedule the data refresh. Okay, as and when any new data comes in, you need to refresh it in your cloud report automatically. You need to schedule it. Okay, when you schedule it, it will get automated. Okay, so that is the flip side of import data. your report may not be, it may not contain the data up to date. Hence, you may have to refresh the data periodically. Depends on your requirement. Okay. There are some report you wanted to weekly report, bi-monthly report, monthly report, and a daily report. So for daily report, you need to, on a daily basis, you need to schedule the data refresh. Okay, from your office server to the cloud, you need to schedule it on a daily basis. It's in simple time. To make it simple from your laptop to cloud, you need to, on a daily basis, you need to publish the data. It's kind of a publish the data, okay? The refreshing the data, okay? So that your report will contain up-to-date information. But here you need to schedule the data refresh, and it is an additional overhead. If the job fails, and you need to go and check why the job failed, there could be a number of reasons why the job failed and all. Okay, the data refreshing, thing, right? It'll have some kind of administrative overhead. So that is also one of the flip side of import data. Otherwise, when it comes to advantages side, the upside, okay, the upside of import data is you can use any type of source, and but in the case of import mode, the other flip side is you need to load the data locally. You need to have sufficient amount of storage. Okay. When it comes to upside of the import data, performance is pretty faster. You can use all DAX functions. What do you mean by DAX? Please bear with me. I don't have the stylus pen with me because I hurry-burriedly started. DAX, data analytics, expression. So this is one of the separate topic. I don't want to cover you. If I cover, in between the, each and every topic, right, you will get completely disoriented. Okay. So you just keep that in mind. There is something called DAX. It is a built-in functions available as part of Power BI that is developed by Microsoft. This DAX functions will help you simplify your job in terms of performing advanced, basics to advanced analysis. Okay. You don't have to write lines and lines of code. Okay. With the help of the DAX function, you can do the basics to advanced level of analytics. Okay. But you can use all DAX functions in the case of import data, in import connectivity mode or import storage mode. You can use all DAX functions. You can work with all data sources, and the performance is pretty faster. These are the upside, and downside is you need to have sufficient storage space available in your system, local system, and also you need to schedule the data refresh. Hey, it's something like that. Okay, let's say you have some marriage function, right? You have uploaded the video yesterday. Yesterday was the reception, marriage reception. You upload the video yesterday in the Google Drive, the cloud. Okay, and you share that link to your friend. Hey, I uploaded my engagement video or the reception video. Okay, so next day you are going to upload your marriage video. So as of yesterday, the your Google Drive contains only as of yesterday's data. Okay, in order for in your Google Drive cloud. Okay, in order for the your cloud account to be kept up to date. Let's say today your marriage has happened. You need to upload your today marriage photos and pics, everything in Google Cloud. Okay. So that people or your relatives also, right? They can watch the video, yesterday video and today video also. Similarly, in the case of import mode, you need to schedule the data refresh. Don't forget it. Okay. Next one is the direct query. Direct query, as I told you, right? It lets you build visualization on very large data sets. Okay. If you have huge amount of data, for example, this is what your SQL server, Azure SQL Server or SQL Server. This is it. And here you have the database available. Okay, it will say the retail database available. It has retail data warehouse database. It has huge volume of data in it. What you are doing is you are using Power BI to connect to this one. okay, to connect to the SQL server, okay. We're going to use Power BI to connect to the SQL server. In the, in the case of direct query mode, right? The data will not get downloaded from your Azure SQL server to your Power BI. Okay, your SQL server to Power BI will not get loaded locally in the case of direct query mode. Instead, the data will reside here itself. I gave you an example for this. For example, this is your kitchen, hotel kitchen. For example, we'll say Sangeeta Hotel, right? In Chennai, it is popular. Sangeeta Hotel. You have some hotel, and you have relatives. They made a surprise visit to your house. What you do? You just look at the menu. It's kind of be kind of menu, right? You look at the menu, and you don't have time to prepare for all the people at your home. All you need is a menu to order it with your hotel. So they have the capacity to cook for 1,000 people or 100 people at a time. What you do is you look at the menu, what are the items that you order, you just place it with the hotel, they will deliver it to you. Okay. Similarly, Power BI will send a request to the Azure SQL Server. It sends the query, okay, SQL query. The query will get executed here. The output of the data will be pushed to your Power BI desktop. Okay. So here, for example, he might be asking this question. For example, I wanted to select star from sales fact table. If you write like this, what will happen is the entire data from your sales fact table will be queried. Though direct query mode is helpful in terms of sending the query directly from your Power BI desktop to SQL server, the query will get executed here. But when you select star from SQL sales fact table, the table. This table has many columns. Let's not worry about the table, what columns it has, how many number of records it has in it. They say hypothetically, this table has, you have, 100 million records are there. When you select star from sales fact, it will retrieve all the records from your sales fact. It's a overkill. Okay, it's a overkill. Okay, usually what we do is we'll use some filtering. I'm not going to discuss, that part at this moment. You will be overwhelmed. Okay. So here, for example, you need to be smart, right? In terms of leveraging this feature, direct query mode, okay? Effectively. For example, select sum of sales. So SQL is pretty simple to learn. The plain English like language, okay? From sales fact table, okay? And then you are using group by, for example, region. Listen very carefully. If you don't listen, you will not be able to understand. Okay, region, comma, sum of sales. So here, let's say you do the business across 4 regions only: north, south, east, west. You are doing the business only in the 4 regions in India. You have divided the India logically by 4 regions for you to manage, the data, right? Manage the data across the regions. So how many regions you have in the sales fact table? You have only 4 regions are there, but in total we have 100 million records are there. Okay, what will happen is when you execute the query group by, it takes, irrespective of the volume of the data, it aggregates the data, it summarizes data, or it, for example, what I'll just tell you here: north region, and in south region you made some sales. Let's say when you open your Excel sheet or some data, right? And others, please bear with me, okay? Because there are some people, right? They don't have any background. That's the reason why I need to explain. Then west and again north. When you open the transaction, you can see some people ordered. Let's say you have a e-commerce website. North India, someone ordered, and South India, someone ordered, and east, west region, north region. So you have like north, multiple transactions are. multiple transactions are. So end of day, this function, what it does is, so group by, what it does is, so for example, north, you have 100, let's say you made something like 10,000 sales, and the north region on it's 5,000, and here you have something like again 4,500 and 2,000 and 1,500, and north is 1,000. Okay, and then here 850. So what will happen is this query will get executed in your SQL server. Okay, the SQL server. Power BI, let's say Power BI generated this query, and then it sent the query to your SQL server. The query executed here itself, like how the cooking is done in the hotel itself, right? The query gets executed in the SQL server itself. This query, okay. And end of the day, this query will return only 4 records because it is going to remove the duplicate values. North region, south region. How many regions are there? North, south, east, west. Here, so north you have 10,000. It will add all the values, all the north. So 10,000 plus 1,000, 10,005 and no, sorry, 10,000, 11,000, 11,850, 11,850. And then the south region, how many records are there? Only one record, right? It is grouping the value, okay. And then east region, how many records are there? You have only 2,000, okay. And in the west region, how many records you have? Even the west region, you have only one record. 5,000. So your query, this query will, irrespective of the volume of the data you have it. Now, here, I don't have time to put everything. Let's say you have 100 million records are like this. This query, what it does is it gives you the aggregated or summarized total sales in only the 4 region. Okay, so look here, north region, the group by function, what it does is it it removes the duplicates, and at the same time it aggregates all the values from each group. North region, so 10,000 plus 1,000, 11,000, 11,850. And in the south region, 4,000. Because south, we don't have more than one record. East also, we don't have more than one record. And yeah, west, we have 1,500. So here, smartly, right, this query returns, even though you have 100 million records here in your sales fact table, this query, what it does is, it will, it will give you only 4 records. It does the aggregation. So sending 4 records from your SQL server to your Power BI will not take much time. Do you all agree with me or not? Is it clear or not? So yeah, so is it clear? See, in the Excel sheet, in the forget about SQL server here. The Excel sheet, they'll give you everything. Okay, you have, let's say your manager gives you the data like this, and he tells you, hey, give me how much total sales we made in each region. What will be your answer? Yeah, Tejaswini, yes, correct, right? Yeah, right. So end of the day, it gives you the aggregated data. You need to give him, this is what he's expecting from you, right? So give me the total sales we made in each region. I don't want to see the transactional data. North, north, north. I don't want to see that. I want to see the aggregated data, summarized data. I just need to see only the 4 regions total sales. Is it clear or not? You need to think logically, right? You need to, it all depends on your IQ also, right? If you say, I cannot understand, you need to analyze, understand, okay? Because once you get into a project, no one is going to explain you like this, okay? So are you able to understand or not? Is it clear or not? So north region, total sales. So this is how the data is there in a sales fact table. So how do I do the aggregation? Using this query, you can do that. you don't have to write this query also. What Power BI does is, in your visual, in the x-axis, you want to put the region. In the y-axis, you want to put the sales. It gives you automatically the total sales you made in each region, isn't it? For example, I just go here. Also, I would suggest, right, start using the Excel file also. Download the data and start practicing. Go extra mile, okay? No spin feeding. Nobody will give you everything, okay? Anyhow, I'm going in a very slow pace only. Look here. I just clicked on the data view. So this is the column chart. I just clicked on it. And I just move this here. Okay, here, I have some more problem. 1 second. I just expand this and I can see all the columns here. I'm going to select the category. For example, or, let's say the region. Okay, I'm going to select the region here. I'm going to select the region. And then I have something like, quantity column. Let's say, I have something like quantity column. How many units we sold? Basically, he wants to understand what is the total units we sold in each region, right? You can see that this is what is happening here. Right, you can see each and every region. So what you see here, you have some test, right? And south region, north region. Can you see the same region appears more than one time? No, right? So that is behind the scene. That is what is happening. Group by, okay. And if you go here, for example, if I go here, we will take a simple example. North Asia, right? When I keep the cursor here, when I hover the cursor here, we can see the total unit sold was 6227 North Asia, okay? And when I go to the data view, like your Excel, okay? And if you go here, and where is the region column? In the region column, click on the drop down here, North Asia, and hit OK. So in North Asia, how many quantities are there? Like, no, so it computes the total on the quantity column. But what will happen is if you share this data as it is, what will happen? You will not be able to get a quick insight, right? All he wants to say is in each region, what is the total units we sold? Sum all the value. That is what has happened here. I just clear the filter. That is what is happening here, right? The south is how much sales and the north is what happens is behind the scene, it applies the sum function on this quantity column. So in this case, I have used the import connectivity mode. I have loaded the data locally. Hence, it is doing the sum here. But if I use the direct connectivity mode, what will happen? The data will not get loaded locally. Power BI, what will it do is the moment when you drop the region column and text column and the numeric column, it generates the query automatically like this behind the scene. Select region, sum of sales, from sales fact table, this query will be generated. What is the size of this query? Hardly only one line. See, for viewers' sake, I put it in 3 lines. Okay, you can write it in a single line also. So one single line query will get generated by your Power BI desktop. but how many records you have it here? For example, in this case, we have, let's say 25,000 records. 25,000 records are available in your SQL server. Only the query will be sent to your SQL server. The query will get executed. The output of the one will be sent to here. How many regions are that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Only the 10 records will be sent. What is the total number of records here? All of you, please, wake up. Okay, please respond. Otherwise, point in, you will have to keep blaming your for everyone. Okay. So what I'm saying, right? The region. Here it is available import mode. In the case of direct query mode, the data is available in your SQL server. Okay, and here it is not available. Only you can see something like the direct query mode. You cannot see the data here, right? So in that case, what will happen is the query will be, when you create a visual here, it will go and the Power BI will query your SQL server. So in this case, what will happen is it generate the SQL query something like this. Okay, and then it will execute the query in the source system only smartly, right? So here you have 10 regions. The 10 regions, some total sales or total units sold, it will be sent here. How many of you are able to understand or not? Are you able to understand or not? Varun says it's pretty clear. Ramesh says it's a beautiful explanation. How about others? Kumar and Preeti. Preeti says excellent. Okay, I'm able to understand. How about others? Chaitanya and others. Tejaswini, are able to understand? Very good, right? Fine. How about the others? How about the others? Okay, I need all your response. Okay. Yes, sir, you can understand. Very good. Geetika says she's able to understand. Very good, right? Very simple. That's how. If you can understand quickly and let me know so that I can move forward. Okay. You will get annoyed if I repeat the same topic again and again. Okay. You will also save the time. And others, please bear with me. Okay. Keshav and Monica, right? Monica is not there. Yeah, she is okay to join next session. She's already familiar with this one. And Keshav also already, I think he's familiar. Okay. And that's why he did not join. Okay, fine. If you are already comfortable, okay, fine. So this is in the case of direct query mode. What are the advantages? Each time Power BI will generate the query and it will send it to your data source to retrieve the necessary data. In case you make any changes to the sales fact table, okay, right? So that will be sorry. Here there is a mistake. The underlying data will get reflected immediately in any visuals. Any changes to the underlying data will get reflected immediately. There is a mistake here. Remove not. But the limitation of direct query is it can work only with these source systems: SQL Server, Oracle, Teradata, SAP, and so only these kind of source systems it can work. You cannot use direct query for all source systems. How many have heard about MySQL Server? MySQL Server. You cannot use direct query with MySQL Server. See, the advantages manifold when you use direct query. Power BI, every time it smartly sends the query to your SQL Server. Hey, it is your job, execute the query, give me the output. That's all. Okay. He is not going to have an headache of downloading the data locally and doing the aggregations. Okay. But the limitation is, you cannot use it with all the things. Okay. Parameters are not supported in direct query mode. Okay. Parameters. Okay. So yes, as I told you, right? So you cannot use parameters in your stored procedure, right? Yes, you cannot use parameters. That is also another limitation. Very good. Okay, thanks, Chaitanya. Okay. And the advantages are something like, it is, though there is a latency. What do you mean by latency? There is a delay in getting the data from your SQL server, right? Because the query has to be sent there. The query should get executed. The output of the query has to be sent to your Power BI. There will be a slight delay in getting the data to your Power BI desktop. But when you compare the pros and cons, and it is really good. You don't have to download the entire data. First of all, it is not possible to download the entire data to your local system. Okay, so in that way, you don't have to require, a lot of storage space in your local system. And other limitation is like, yeah, the direct query also has its own limitations. For example, you want to, we have seen, right? When I do order by, when I use order by, it is not working. It is throwing an error. Okay, order by. And even in the case of SQL stored procedure, when I used the parameter, it was not working, right? So we were posing issues in the last session. When I cover about the parameter in Power Query Editor, we'll explain you in detail, okay? What are the disadvantages? The disadvantages, you cannot use all the DAX functions. As I told you here, you cannot use all the DAX functions. You cannot use all the DAX functions. Only some, DAX functions will work. And also, right, you cannot use all DAX functions. Hence, right, if you want to perform some kind of advanced analytics, you have an headache of writing a stored procedure, or you need to use some ETL tool. You want to perform some complex data transformation. Okay. So, or not all the DAX function, you can use it with direct query. Okay. This one flip side of using direct query mode. What are the other drawbacks of this one? The direct query mode. The other advantage is you don't have to refresh the data sets, right? Because every time Power BI will query your SQL server, your SQL server has the tables have all their data up to the minute data you have it. You don't have to refresh the data like how you do it in the case of import mode. But only the downside is, the slower, the performance is a little bit slower because it relies on real-time queries to data source. And then, limited support for data transformation. Like I said, order by, you cannot use it. If you want to merge the columns, that is not possible. Yes, up-to-date data, we have time saving. Yes, Vinatma, right? So it has up-to-date. You don't have to have the admin overhead in terms of scheduling the data, like how we do it in import mode to keep your reports data up to date. Okay, that headache is not there. Next one is the live connection. What is the live connection? So in the case of live connection, what happens is, like direct query mode, it is not storing the data locally. Okay, the live connection, what it does is it establishes a live connection between your Power BI and your supported data sources, like Azure Analysis Service or SQL Server Analysis Service, SSES and all. Okay, the advantages, or with live connection is, we can leverage existing the investments and data models, and also like direct query mode, it provides real-time access to your data without importing the data into Power BI. Like direct query mode, even in the case of live connection, you don't have to import the data locally. Okay, fine. But the biggest limitation with the live connection is, okay, limitation with live connection, it works only with SSAS, tabular, and 1 second, I'll just type it here. SSAS. There is a software called SSAS, tabular. SSAS, multi-dimensional, and then Power Query, right? Sorry, Power BI service. You can use live connection only with these three sources. Rest of them you cannot use it. Okay, you cannot use it. So only SSAS tabular. That is what Vinod now. Let us go step by step. I'm going to explain one by one. So the Vinod now's question is, what is the difference between direct and live connection? Direct connection works only with these three sources. You cannot use anything beyond that. Okay, but the direct query mode, it works with, even direct query mode has its limitations. You cannot use all the data sources, like MySQL server, you cannot use it. Only some specific, but compared to live mode, direct query mode offers access to different sources, though it has limitations. Okay, but here you can access only these three. This is the difference between direct and live connection. This is an interview question. What is the difference between live connection and okay? And the next question is okay. In the case of live connection, how it works? So here I don't have these softwares are available. SSES and Tabler. Earlier, I have installed this in other laptop. Okay, currently I'm in Bangalore. Okay, so I'm using other laptop. So here I don't have it, but with Power BI service, I can give you a demo. Okay, for example, you created a report. You publish the report on cloud. Let's say to create a report, you are going to use multiple source systems, files, and tables, everything, and then you create the report, and then you publish it in cloud. Okay. So in that case, what will happen is, let's say you are the project leader. Okay, you have done all kind of data transformation. Okay? Data transformation, all the complex data transformation, data modeling also you have done. And say you are the project leader. And what you do is you tell your team members, hey guys, I have created a report. I did the data modeling and data transformation, everything. What you do is you go and access the data from the Power BI Cloud service. You can use this URL to connect to the Power BI Cloud service. So here you don't have the headache of doing the data transformation, data modeling, everything, right? Someone has done it on your behalf, and then they published on cloud. And you are going to, let's say you are a report developer. He's a project leader. He did everything, the data transformation, data modeling. You are a developer. All you need to is import that the file. Okay, so not the import in the sense you need to establish a live connection. That's all. Okay, all the tables that were used in that report file you can access it, and also all the data transformation they did it already. Hence, you can focus only on designing the reports. Your job is only here. Okay, you likewise, right? You create the reports. You create the reports. You just design it, in a visually appealing manner. You create a report in a very awesome manner. You use some images and everything, right? So your job is limited only here. Okay, you don't have to do any data modeling. Someone has already done it. And the other advantage of live connection, there is a centralized control. There is a centralized control. That means you cannot drop a column. You cannot rename a column. Okay. You cannot rename or you cannot drop a column in the case of live connection. Or you cannot create the relationship between them. Already someone has done it. So you don't have any job here. The data modeling, a model view, and the table view. We can see the data. That's all. And your job is only here. Even the table view, it is not going to show you. But even I have installed the latest version, and the one version to another version, there will be some changes. And I will just go to the Power BI Cloud service. app.powerbi.com. So this is what called as Power BI Cloud service. You need to have the username and password to connect it. Go ahead and sign up here. If you are a staff, but it requires your official email ID. Or if you are a student, you can use your student email ID or something like that. Okay. And here, I have some limitation. Other, laptop I have used it. Any of the live connection, I'll give you a demo later. So app.powerbi.com, for example, you have created report. Let's here for the sake of illustration, I just put one visual. You have multiple visuals here, and you design it very well. When you click on this publish button, this report will get published from your local laptop to the cloud. So, right, and then it will ask you what name that you want to see. For example, here I'm going to say live connection mode. Okay, PBIX. Okay, I just save it. Without saving it, you cannot publish it. and then wait for some time. It will ask you the the username and password for your email ID for your cloud. Okay, and 1 second, I'll just give it a try here itself. Support at deepneuron.n. I'm going to hit submit. See, once you register it there, you need to specify the email ID, which one you used it to access your Power BI Cloud Service. Here you need to specify the password. I don't know if the password is going to be something. Let me just check. Yeah, we have recruited some people to work on some. I think they changed it. I'll just check with them. So what will happen is this report, when you click on publish, and it will ask you your email ID. Once you specify the email ID here, for example, if you specify your email ID, support at deepneuron.in, and continue. So it will get connected to your Power BI Cloud Service. This report will get uploaded, right, on cloud. It will get published on cloud. For you people to understand, I use the term uploaded. So it will go and upload this one there. Okay, it will again ask the sign in username password. I think our people, they changed it. I'll check with them. So the report will get published on cloud. Okay. Once it get published on cloud, what you do is you need to open a new report file, because the Power BI live connection mode, we cannot work with different data types, the data sources. Okay. 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 What I will do is, I will show you with another example. For example, here, I don't know if I have all the file. Okay, what I will do is I will just go to the GitHub. What is GitHub? How many of you are aware of GitHub? We already discussed github.com. This is a version control cloud-based service. This Microsoft product. I just cited it here. You can also go ahead and create the user ID with it. And here I just used 1 second. I'll just check it in my mobile phone. I'm just checking my mobile phone, right? Wait for some time. The code has been sent there. No, I have not yet received it. It says, they have sent the code. Not my no device one. GitHub, yes. 011565. 011565. Wait, sorry, 011 011565. That's all. It got connected here. I'm going to click on this repository. This I will show you later, don't worry, okay? And here, or you can spend some time in watching some YouTube videos, okay? And how to create a repository in GitHub, everything, okay? So what I will do is for you guys, I'll send you the link in the chat, okay? You can store it in your laptop or in a mobile phone. This is another shortcut way of downloading the data from my website, okay? You don't have to go to my website to download the data. Okay, and you can go here. I just shared the link to you all. Okay, anybody can access this one. Okay, you can download the files. And for example, here I have something like I do Control F, and then I'll just check sales fact dot XLS file. Okay, this file got downloaded. You can also try it side by side. Dim customer. Dim customer dot XLS. View raw. This is how you can download the data from your GitHub. Sometimes the data are available in GitHub. You can also go ahead and download it. Some cases you don't have the download privilege. You need to connect directly to the GitHub. You can watch my other video, right? Other day video. And I'm going to just look at this on restaurant.csv. Okay, what happened here? I just tried the dim customer.xls file. Or we will say dim product. Yeah, product.xls is there. You can use Control F to check dim product is available. Yeah, it is there. When you use Control F, you can make out quickly. Okay. Dim location, dim product, and all things. When you click on this Excel file, here you can see that it will get downloaded. You need to wait. Right again, on the right side, you need to click on the view raw. Select the file that you want to download it first. Click on it once. On the right side, you need to click on the view raw. When you click on only when you click on the view raw, this one will get downloaded. Okay, dim location and so see most of the training centers they don't even teach what is GitHub and all. Okay, because you need to know what is GitHub if you want to become a data scientist or if you want to become a data analyst. For example, here I just click on the Excel workbook. I'm going to load these two files. Where is that? I have downloaded here. The downloads it will be there, right? Yeah, and in the if I click on it here, you can see in the downloads it is there. I just go here, get data. Or else simply you just type sales fact.xls x. Oh, it is there in okay, it's in C drive, right? C drive downloads. Sorry, here you will find the downloads, and here you will have the sales fact file. Or else I just type sales fact.xls file. Okay, what happened? It got downloaded where? It is in the C drive, right? Yeah, uses Raja 2. Okay, and here I just go here, and then the C drive, it is going and picking up from the D drive. Users and Roger 2. And then where you have the other file, yeah, Roger 2 and downloads. Here you can see the sales fact file, and I hit the open button and it will get loaded. Wait for some time. The reason why I am showing this one is most of the time you'll be working with multiple files or multiple tables. This is the NC says the sheet name, and this Excel file salesfact.xls. I'm going to hit load button. And next one is yeah, the location. Okay, dim location open. Okay, let's wait for some time until this one gets completed. The dim location, I just click on this sheet one. So these are the here, but the location key and location name is not available in the place of column. Instead, it shows column 1 and column 2. Okay, and I just hit load. Okay, anyhow, let it load. I'm going to fix it, once that the load get succeeded. Okay. Model view, we can see this on sheet 1, column 1, column 2. What is this sheet 1? We are going to rename it as a dim location. Give the meaningful name. And then the NC sales, I'm going to rename it as sales fact table or the file. Press enter. We have given some meaningful name, sales fact and dim location. Very good. But the column names, everything is good here. But whereas here it shows column 1, column 2. What I will do is I'll go to the transform data ribbon and hit this transform data. This one I have showed you in the previous session, right? But I don't know which session that I showed. I think the very first session also, second session also. Hit this ribbon, transform ribbon. Here you will find use first row as it is, and select the location dimension table. Here you can see the location key and location name is, or the column header. Unfortunately, it is not available here. It is available in the first row. We need to push the first row to this column 1 and column 2. Okay. And here use first row as it is. I'm going to edit this one. Now the location key and location name got pushed from the first row to the column name. Now it makes sense, right? You can make out quickly, hey, what the values are. Instead of saying column 1, column 2, now you have the proper naming convention for the column names here. Okay, I just close it here. Let's wait for some time. It has to refresh, apply changes. So we have just now uploaded the location dimension in sales fact table. Isn't it? Excel files. And here what happened, it creates the link here automatically. Look here, if I keep the cursor on top of this line, both the tables, the location key column got highlighted. Okay. The relationship automatically detected and it created. Okay. So let's say I'm the project leader. I created the relationship between the tables. Okay. So you might be asking this question. If the Power BI desktop itself creates the relationship, then why should I need your help? Why I need a project leader? Not all the time you will have one-to-one, only one relationship between the two tables, right? Sometimes you will have multiple relations will exist between the tables. Okay. So in that time, as a project leader, I have created the data model. I have loaded the data. I did little bit data cleaning. What I did, I just pushed the first row to the column header. Now the column names are correctly displaying. Okay, I'm done. The basic simple data transformation, and also I have created the relationship. Now I just go here, and then I'm going to create a report. No, I'm not going to create a report. Okay, that is your responsibility, and I'm going to publish it to the cloud. Okay, I just say save, and this report file will get published to cloud. I'm going to hit continue. It will ask me the password, okay, to publish to the cloud. So this report will get published to cloud. If I give the the username password again here, it will get published to the cloud. That we'll see it in the next session. Okay, I will talk to our developers and I'll get the credentials, and this one will get published to your cloud. Okay. So what you do is, so let's say I have I loaded the data. I have loaded the data, all the required data to create the, all the required tables and columns to create a reports. And then I created the relationship. I just did some kind of data cleaning, everything as a project leader. And then I'm going to hit the publish button. This one will get published on cloud. And then I go back and tell you, I'll come back and tell you, hey, you're all developers. Can you please, download this report file from the cloud? Okay, I will give you in the cloud username and password, and you need to download it. When you download it, what will happen is you're not supposed to have. So this report file have more than one table, right? I create the relationship. I've given the proper name for each column, and I published on cloud. So next time, what I do is I need to save it, and then I'll tell, hey, this is the file name that I published on cloud, and I'll give you a URL and password. You need to go and download it. So once you download it, you will not be able to see this, data model, everything. Okay, you maybe you'll be able to see the data model, but you will not be able to make any changes to your data model. You cannot create the, 1 second, I'll just show you. But you will not be able to make any, because you're a developer. You don't have any control to make changes, everything. It's something like in a family, right? The family head has access to all the things, right? Let's say you have the locker in your home. So only the family head has access to it. Whenever there is a function, then he will give you some privileges to go and take it and wear it and go to the function, come back. And once you come back, you need to keep it there, you will lock. So that there is a centralized control, right? The same analogy is applicable here also. As a project leader, I'm going to import all the necessary tables, files, and Parquet files, or XML, whatever the files or tables that are required to create the reports. I load it in a report file, and then I do the data cleaning, data relationship, everything I'll create it, and then I'll publish it on cloud. And once I share the link, everything, you need to go and download the report file which I published on cloud. Okay, so now let's say you just downloaded it. I will show you this on this Monday how to download it. Okay, live connection. So what will happen is your job is only in this page, report canvas. You are going to use the column name, or what are the columns that are required, from which tables you can see it. You can create a report. Your job is you are a report designer or you are a report developer. For example, Geetika, she is a report developer. She need to do everything here. She need to, to create the data relationship, everything. Her job is simply view it. That's all. And she need not to, do the data transform, everything. Only thing is she has to put all the, visuals, whatever the charts that she needed, she can drag and drop it. And she can pull the columns from here, and then you can put it in that visual. Got it? That's all. Your focus as a report developer, you should create visually stunning report. As a project leader, my role is load all the necessary tables or files in the Power BI report, create the relationship between the tables, and then do the data cleaning, everything. That is my responsibility. But there are some cases, if if the project is very small, you have to do everything. Okay. And there are some cases they do it. So in that case, what there will be, if I don't allow you to, drop the relationship, you delete the relationship, what will happen? It will not do your report will not show the correct data. This relationship should be there. The link should be there. Otherwise, it will not work. Okay. Otherwise, it will not work. And so you need to create. So this is what your live connection mode. So what, in the case of live connection mode, it works only with the Power BI Cloud Service. Apart from this, can work only with the SSAS table or SSAS multi-dimensional. So these are the analytical software like Power BI. So it is SSAS and the Tabular and multi-dimensional Microsoft product. Okay, like Power BI. So what happens is, in the past, customer they bought those softwares from Microsoft. They have created the data load, everything there. They created some reports and cubes, everything. Now they say, hey, you can, you import the cubes from our SSAS tool to Power BI desktop. Now they have bought the latest software called Power BI. They want to migrate everything from the older to newer tool. They already created everything. They want you to do. So since we don't have the SSAS and SSAS table or multi-dimensional, I cannot give you a demo. But anyhow, in the interview, you can tell them, you know what is live connection. And SSAS and the SS table or multi-dimensional do not work on it. Okay, there's nothing wrong in it, because to learn that one also will take longer time. So now the question is, the $1 million question is, what is the difference between the import and direct mode? Import and direct mode. What is the difference between? So in the case of Power BI desktop, the data is copied to the report itself. The extension of the report file is .pbx, and then into the last queue. As part of screening, they'll ask you this question. If I store the report, what is the extension of the file? You tell .pbx. If you don't tell this one, they will quickly make out you did not work on the Power BI tool at all. Okay, this is a very basic thing you should be knowing. Like a doctor should know what is the normal range for heart rate and blood pressure, right? You should be knowing as a report developer what is the file name, right? And next one is, what is the difference between import and direct mode? Already we have seen it. Import will get loaded the data locally. Direct mode, it will Power BI will query the source system data each time you create a visual, okay, or each time you apply the the filters using your slicer. Next one is the composite mode. We have something called composite mode. What is composite mode? You can use any type of data, cloud data. You can use any type of data. That is what your composite data. You can have the import data and the direct query mode data also. You can have it. Let's say you have downloaded. You have used the direct query mode to connect to SQL Server to import the metadata with sales fact table. That is your direct query mode, right? I have shown you the blue color line on top of the table, right? And you have imported some files using import connectivity mode. So in your report, you have import mode. The tables are there. For some tables, you have used direct query mode. So that is what called as a composite mode. And also you are using varieties of sources, XML file, Excel file, everything you have it. That is what a composite mode. And then the next question is, which connectivity mode is faster, direct query or live? So if somebody is asking which one is faster, import and direct mode, which one is faster? Which one is faster, import or direct mode? Which one is faster? Import is faster because the data gets loaded locally. Okay. Whereas direct mode is good if the volume of the data is very huge. Okay. So in that kind of situation, you need to go for direct mode. Okay. And if the volume of data is very huge, though there is a latency, it's a trade-off. You cannot afford to import 1 billion records from your SQL Server to your Power BI desktop, right? So there is a trade-off. So composite mode you understood, and which connect was faster, direct query or live? when it comes to these two things, the live mode is the winner. Why? Why live mode is the winner? Because the data get cached in memory. Whereas the direct query, it has to go and query the source system table. Okay, and then see, there are some cases, yes. If you ask me, sir, can't I load the SQL Server table data in memory? That is possible. That is called caching. CACHE. Okay, I just type it here. Not bad. Yeah, it is there. Okay, already it is there. Okay, I just so in the SQL Server also, what we do is from the performance point of view, we cache the data in memory. Remember, guys, one thing very well. If the system computer read the data from the hard disk and then perform the or execute an query, it takes longer time. Rather, if we store the data in memory, and if you execute the query, the performance will be faster. In the case of live connection, what will happen is since the data is cached in memory, for example, in the case of SSAS multi-dimensional, they create something called cube. Cube is multi-dimensional. How many of you have used a cube during your school time? The cube, right? So you play with the cube, right? So you rotate the cube and until you get all these, similar things in the same place, you keep rotated, right? So there is something called cube. They created in the case of SSAS multi-dimensional that I will explain later. Okay. In that case, they cache the data in memory. Okay. Even the case of Power BI, right? The data get cached in memory. Hence, the performance is pretty faster in live mode compared to or opposed to your direct query. The performance is faster in live mode as opposed to your direct query mode. Okay, these are the things if you know that is more than sufficient. And what I will do is I will show you the data profiling and Power Query Editor in the upcoming Wednesday night. Okay, and also we will see how to connect to and I will ask my developer tomorrow itself and I'll get the password, everything, and we will give you a live session. And also we'll discuss about something called PBIDS, Power BI data sets. Okay, that is another type of connectivity mode. We'll discuss it. Yeah. So any questions so far? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. 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 We have one more type of storage mode, dual storage mode. Okay. That we will discuss it in the upcoming, the